Hello, beautiful people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today, I'm going to be doing a special video. This is actually not just for you people, it's also for me. Okay, I've done quite a few videos until now. Every day, I try to be ruthless and try to put up reviews, new fragrance, old fragrance list, different kind of fragrance. I try to touch every single genre, but today I want to put up some of the fragrances that started sort of like my love, that got me into fragrances, and some of the fragrances I do not have still, but I'm going to show you 26 fragrances that started off like when I was not, there was no game, like let's say fragrance reviewers, I found them in late 2014-15, but before that we all were in fragrance in some ways, right? We didn't know about notes, we did not know about fragrance house, designer, niche. Many of the fragrances you see in front of me, I didn't know many of them. So yes, I know them now, but before, these are some of my sentimental fragrances. I'm going to be sharing some of my personal fragrances that I sort of repurchased after moving from Malaysia to Bangladesh. Like I just wanted to have them. I don't have obviously again all of them, but I want to show you what actually started. So I'm gonna do like this: 13 plus 13, 26. I'll put the 13 here, then I pause the video and I'll show you 13 more of my fragrances. They may not be the biggest fragrances now anymore, perhaps forgotten, but I'll leave it here. Okay, so this is from my personal journey, and I actually grew up half in Bangladesh until 17 years. Then I moved to Malaysia. I was like there until like 19 years. Okay, so my part of my life is like half and half, right? So I bought many fragrances in Malaysia, but initial days, just remember this, it was not easy to buy fragrance because Malaysia fragrance is expensive. And as a student, when I was a student, I most part got gifts, like New Year or birthday or something like that. So I got to try fragrance. I was from, this is where it started my love. Okay, so remember that. So along the way, I'm not gonna rush, I'm gonna make this a big video, but if you feel like watching, you can try these fragrances. They're very special to me. All right, so first fragrance I'll try and show you today is perhaps my biggest fragrance in my journey. This fragrance means a lot to me, to my father. We both used it a lot, and this is one of the biggest fragrance in our journey, which is Hugo Boss bottle. This went through severe reformulation over the years, no doubt about it. When we got this first, we had think 100 ml. Then we had a small. I got a first bottle as a gift. It was 30 ml, I think, small bottle. Then my dad bought like a 200 ml. I think during my mom gifted him during their wedding anniversary. So that fragrance was huge. Like we love that fragrance. We always repurchased it. My dad still loves it, and I have a lot of flankers of that now. EDP, Infinite. I reviewed many of them, but this fragrance is gonna remain very special to me. Okay, Hugo Boss bottle, my king. You can say this is my king fragrance. Okay, until now I love this perfume. Apple pie, cinnamon. Now we know, but before it smelled nice, sweet. We didn't care for season because Malaysia is always hot and humid, but we love that fragrance. Any occasion, anywhere. It smells like casual party. One fragrance like Dior Sauvage does everything now. This one used to do back in the time everything. Okay, I'm talking about 90s, 99, 19. I think I don't know 2000s, early 2000s. Okay, that time. So 20 years back, we're talking about Hugo Boss bottle, one of the best fragrance in my journey. Second one I'm going to show you, we're going to make a big video, isn't it? It's personal video. This fragrance I did not have back then. I had a clone of it or fake of it, but it used to be called something like this perfume. Okay, this is called Dracar Noir. Okay, Guy Laroche. Again, went through severe reformulation over the years, but I had a fragrance called Dakota, and that looked like this, but the taller bottle or something. But I bought it from, I think, Masjid India or somewhere, like Dubai based fragrance I bought, but that one's supposed to be a clone of this. Then later in Bangladesh, I think I got this from my girl. She gifted me this one, Dracar Noir. It's a barber shop, kind of like a Fougere, kind of spicy, manly, masculine scent, grown up fragrance. So the thing is, I know this DNA from very long time. So that's why I put it here. Dracar Noir, one of my personal favorites. This DNA sort of, was part of my early days of journey. Next one, I'm not considering, by the way, 2015 onwards when I started buying fragrance, Lamal, The One. Those are when I started watching reviews. These are fragrance before I started watching reviews, okay, like on my own. Third one I'm going to show you is Nikos Sculpture. This is a very old bottle. This is said to be similar to Dunhill Desire Red and some other fragrance. They have big bottle now, but this is very sweet. People say it doesn't last, but the older formulation used to last a very long time. My dad got this as a gift from one of my uncles. This one, he gave it to me, or I rather took it, I don't remember. But I used to keep this in my car. my first car, my second car, my third car. Those my Malaysian friends who, if you're watching, I had a first car. It was our family car. I got it from my dad, Proton Vira. Then we had a Proton. I think what was it? I forget now. It is Gen 2, and then the one that came after. Oh my God, I forgot already, man. It's been a while. Then I had an MPV later, but I used to have this car all the I mean this fragrance all the time in my car. Okay, so how come I can remember my car's name? Persona, yes. And then after Persona I had an Exora CFE. So this fragrance used to be always in my car. Okay, this is the very same bottle that I still carry. I don't know if it's still good, but for memory's sake, this is one of my oldest bottles. Nikos Sculpture Fourth fragrance I'm going to show you is going to be again a big fragrance in my journey. This is obviously more modern formulation, Dunhill Desire Red. Previously it didn't come with this like sort of metal plate. Now that it does, but I still find it to be very strong, long lasting, sweet clubbing fragrance. Like before 1 million I knew this. Okay, this fragrance I wore everywhere. I had an older batch where the Dunhill was written on the side, and absolutely treasured it. Anywhere I went, people gave me compliments, but it's not for high heat basically, but I used to wear it anyway because we didn't have any winter in Malaysia. So Dunhill Desire Red, one of my big fragrances. Okay, I'm gonna make it a bit short because I cannot like talk about it. Like every story will be like at least 10 minutes. Okay, so just trying still giving you short stories. Fifth one, I'm gonna show you big fragrance. I had this 200 ml CK1. Many of you will agree this is one of your first fragrances, right? This was not very expensive, but to me as a student I saved up to buy this. I remember I used to have it in my car for 10 years more. This is my new bottle, but the older one, I mean, I carried it everywhere. It never went bad. I just got lucky, never got alcoholic. 10 years plus the older bottle served me. Sometimes I didn't like it anymore because it's become a bit feminine, like you smell more and more. Hugo Boss bottle is a much better fragrance like that. But when you actually have sentiments, you have a lot of memories wearing them, these are special to you, right? CK1 is my fifth pick. My sixth pick, I'm going to show you this fragrance. I'm not going to rush, by the way. I know I'm looking at the time ticking, but I'm like, let's give some love where my love came from for fragrance. Okay, next I'm going to show you is Diesel, big brand back then. This is Diesel. I think it's called Only the Brave. Hold on, I forget the name all the time. I think it's called Diesel Only the Brave or something like that. Yeah, Only the Brave is written on the cap. So this fragrance has a lot of flanker now, but people do not know this fragrance came out way ahead of its time. Beautiful fist, sort of futuristic. It was a gift from one of my friends or elder brothers. I think we went, and then he came to visit Bangladesh and he gifted me this one because I was kind of like driving around and he wanted to like give me something that I like. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want a perfume." So this one I got. It has leather, sweet tones and everything. It's kind of sweet, but this fragrance still, even if it was released today, it would be a great hit. Beautiful fragrance, one of the better fragrances in Diesel house. I did some Diesel fragrance. I want to review Diesel's Spirit. What is that called? Diesel Fuel for, I forget. Okay, so I'm so sorry, but there's one thing called Diesel Spirit or something like that. I haven't reviewed it quite yet. Next one, big fragrance, Armani Code. Back in the time, it used to be called as Armani Black Code. Nowadays, you can find it very mature. It's kind of like a tobacco, tonka bean, lavender, those kind of combination. But back in the time, this fragrance, Hugo Boss bottle, Dunhill Desire Red, those who went through that time, my age or our seniors, they know the value of this fragrance. This was huge fragrance. This one is a second formulation, but Armani Black Code won Fifi Award 2 or 3 years in a row for being the most creative, best fragrance of its time. Okay, Armani Code, absolutely huge fragrance, still sells a lot, but they have a lot of flankers nowadays, obviously. But Armani Code is Armani Code, right? Next one, special fragrance, Hugo Boss. This is the orange juice with this futuristic ball, kind of like a bottle. It's called Hugo Boss. I think it's called what? I forget the name. Wait, Hugo Boss. I have to find out the name. I forget the name. I just know this like orange, right? Hold on. I always forget. Let me check the name. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I was telling you that I know this by like Hugo Orange, but now there's another fragrance called Hugo Boss Orange that is like the orange something. This is Hugo Boss in Motion. I reviewed, I think, one other flanker from it. My sister gifted this first time to me in my birthday. I have this vintage bat still. I bought it in Bangladesh. Amazing, beautiful. Let me actually spray this for scent of the morning. It's like right now 6:30. Amazing, long lasting orange scent. But basically you get some other notes. Very nice. Our time we rocked this like anything. Our student time, this was not a big deal. And I had another fragrance called Hugo Boss Elements Aqua. Okay, I just found it from internet, but I don't have the bottle anymore because it was finished long time, but I left it. It was this bottle. It was huge. Many people do not know about these gems. Okay, if you find it somewhere, get it because it's very rare. Okay, Elements Aqua. So next one I'm gonna look at is, perhaps many of you also will say yes, this was in my journey big too. I have finished my bottle. I need another bottle. That is Versace. This was the most affordable Versace I could buy. I wanted to buy Versace Man, Manu Fresh, Versace Purom, Dreamer. Those are expensive during my college university days. Versace Blue Jeans Matte, amazing fragrance, very unique. Heliotrope, very kind of like powdery but very dreamy kind of fragrance. This is one of the best fragrance Versace ever made, and it's one of the affordable ones as well. Blue Jeans for men. So the next one, I think we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 gone. Next one, Hugo Boss. That time, like, let's say, funny thing is why I'm showing a lot of Hugo Boss. Back in the time, we did not know Creeds, we did not know Tom Ford. We knew brands like Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein. It's not to say those brands were not there, but we knew these brands more prominent because they were everywhere in the malls. Okay, so let's say example would be, back in the time Nokia phone was huge, and then afterwards Samsung came, other phones came, now Apple. We didn't know any Apple brands then, we didn't know any Samsung. We knew Sony Ericsson, Nokia, those phones, right? Next one, Hugo Boss. This is not the fragrance I want to show you, but I had Hugo by Hugo Boss, that fragrance. This is the extreme version. This fragrance, me and my dad, again, just like Hugo Boss bottle, we went through multiple bottles. We did not know what's in it. Apple, pine, we know now. But back in the time, this smells like fresh, crisp, manly, masculine, like all day kind of fragrance. So it's like a beast mode performer back in the time. The extreme version still lasts a long time, but the new formulation of Hugo by Hugo is a bit weak. But definitely one of our more lovey-dovey fragrance. Hugo by Hugo Extreme. Next fragrance. Let's go from this side, Lacoste. So here goes the first Lacoste I'm showing you. This fragrance is like, I had a very small bottle. Let me show you side by side two perfumes I had at the same time. Hugo Boss, Lacoste Pour Homme and Lacoste Pour Femme. Okay, what's great about Lacoste Pour Homme was I like the sweetness of it. It has a plum note. I didn't know at that time, but I kind of liked it. I wore it everywhere. Okay, it was a casual everyday, and I finished my bottle very quickly because I used to overspray with it in the high heat. It didn't last much, but the opening blast was so beautiful, so unique. And then I got a small little like 15 ml sample with, when I think my parents got me during my birthday. This one came with a small, they gave a gift like a 50 ml of Lacoste perfume. I didn't know this perfume then, even the name of it. So I thought it's a men's perfume. I used it as well. I liked it. This perfume I like more, and I finished 15 ml quickly. So I am so glad I have these two right now. So these two are part of my initial journey. I think we show one more, and then I move these bottles to put some more new ones. Okay, next one, a fragrance I got in 2012. I think one of my uncles, 12 or 15 or 14, whatever, one of my uncles gifted me this. I never liked this perfume a lot, but I always kept it with me because it was given as a gift. Okay, I never ever get rid of it. That is Jaguar for him or men, the green bottle. There are many of them now, but this was the most daring one. I do not like this fragrance, but it has that masculinity, it's like smells like expensive car. Back in the time, polo green or fragrances like those. I didn't have polo green, I had this one. So what I'm trying to say is, this fragrance has impact on me. I sprayed it, but I didn't actually enjoy it because it got this leather. It has some green notes. It's very unbearable for me, but many men like it. Okay, so Jaguar for men, another fragrance in my earlier days. Okay, so now let me pause and show some other perfumes. Alright guys, thanks for staying with me. Still, I'm making a very long video, but when you have something special, you actually want to take your sweet time. So perhaps if you don't watch it, it's okay. I'm not gonna blame you, but I'm gonna have to do this because I really wanted to do this. Okay, so 13 is gone. Let me show 13 more. That meant a lot initial years of my fragrance collection. Next one I'm going to show you is a very special one. I had a body spray of this. I used to use X, but this one was an upgrade. Like nowadays, you can still find this, not very long lasting, but this like masculine barbershop sort of feel. Masculinity at its best. Back in the time, this was the best fragrance for us in the college days. I love this DNS still. It's got lavender, I think. It got some spices. It's kind of like a fougere, but very much like a we can call it like aftershave, like allspice and stuff. This is called Brute EDT. This is the original. They have blue one, red one, many other ones, but this is the one. Like, if you cannot see, I'll write down the names. But Brute original was one of the big fragrances. Even the original cologne, I tried to collect it, but I ended up buying a fake. But the older ones were so nice, right? So this was a big fragrance back in the time. I remember back in the time, everybody had one in Bangladesh. Brute for men, original. Next one, another fragrance. It's basically a women's perfume, but I really liked it all my life. This house got this blue, gold, silver, white, but I think this is the first one that I smelled. It was Charlie. Okay, I think gold and blue were the first two I smelled. This got peach, apricot, many other fruits. Very inexpensive and very beautiful and very long lasting. Some people call it, okay, this is cheap, like back in the time, it's oldies, old school kind of fragrance. But trust me, even as a man, you can wear it. If you like sweet fragrances, try these perfumes. You may not find them like as bad as you think they can be, but this is special fragrance. My mom used to wear Charlie, like from USA. My dad, I think he went once and he bought her. The original one's a bit rare to find, but they have this new formulation which is not as good as the older ones, but still Charlie is one of my memorable fragrance. Okay, next one is not the bottle I want to show you. I had the original with me, then I gifted to my mom, but I have this one. My mom used to own the original of this, like Dolce & Gabbana, the light blue Pour Femme. That used to have like a see-through juice. This one has blue juice, but the DNA is kind of same. So Dolce & Gabbana light blue, she used to own the EDT. She used to wear it like when she used to go to parties and stuff, and it used to be very long lasting on her for some reason. I got not the best performance, but the smell, the bamboo, the lemon, I just loved it. It's so Mediterranean, so Italian, that sort of style. It's so classy. Even until today, this remains one of my favorite perfumes. Okay, light blue Au Intense is my favorite because it's more long lasting, but the original one is more refreshing. Dolce & Gabbana light blue for women. Next one, Lacoste. Once again, back in the business with the Gator. Big bottle, 125 ml, Lacoste Essential. Okay, let me show you once again. It's morning, so you're going to hear a lot of birds and crows. Lacoste Essential, basically a fragrance I never really liked that much, but it was in my collection. I left my, or rather, I sold off my bottle that I owned in Malaysia, in Bangladesh. When I came here, I sold it, but kind of was craving for it because the bottle is so classy. This was meant for golf, polo t-shirt, and it's like a tennis court, like it's a fresh grassy green note with the tomato leaf. Very unique experience. More and more you wear it, you kind of appreciate it, but it's not perhaps best of Lacoste, but I really like this fragrance. Okay, Lacoste Essential, another one memorable in my journey. Next, cheap fragrance, but I had, this is my second bottle. This is one of the first fragrance that I bought with my money. Okay, I went to UK and this was on offer. I mean, it was very cheap. Then I got it. I had like a Ferrari fragrance. I don't have that anymore. Ferrari red. But this one I still have. David Beckham Instinct. Okay, this one, the best thing was this. It has a magnetic top for a cheap fragrance like this, like inexpensive, got this beautiful juice, and it was peppery, and it's like a, I would say, vetiver. It's very nice. I should wear this more. But one of my first fragrances, David Beckham Instinct, really love it today. Okay, still today I like this fragrance, very memorable. Next, Polo. Should have talked about Polo earlier. Polo Black. They have Polo Double Black. They have many other Polo, many colors. This is my oldest bottle in my collection. I don't know if I can show you the batch code. It has, I think this was, I bought, like, I don't know when I bought it. It's one of my older perfumes. Okay, I still like it. This fragrance is like got this mango note. It's a bit dark, but it's more fresh, fruity than dark. Did not last all day, but I have sentimental connection with it. 125 ml, again, nice. Try out Double Black. That is a good fragrance as well, but Polo Black is nice. Okay, unique perfume. So we have like, I think 7 more or 6 more, 7 more. Yeah. Next fragrance, let me show you. This is still good. I love this perfume. I got at first 200 ml, then I bought 100 ml. I used to have a 50 ml back then. 212 VIP Men by Carolina Herrera. How did I get this fragrance? My sister. She's like sort of a, I think, yeah, I got a lot of gifts during my birthdays. Every year, birthday, they know my favorite gift is perfume. So they gifted me. This is a Flanker 212 original. But what I liked about it is like that freshness. Now I know they got like boozy notes, like I got that passion fruit and some other like notes, but mostly what I liked about it, the way it smells. This was our party fragrance. Our friends, we used to go out in a car. If we, let's say, going clubbing or going out to somewhere like a barbecue or something, I used to put it on. Everybody would be like, "You smell nice." This was my most complimented fragrance. That's why I still have it. This, perhaps alongside Hugo Boss and Lacoste, this is one of my most favorite. Until today, I love it. 212 VIP, men by Carolina Herrera. Next, big fragrance. This, I have a story, Sikh Obsession. This is a bottle I gave to my dad, I think, and I got it from one brother in Bangladesh, but I never owned this fragrance, and now I do own it. I have a big bottle, but Sikh Obsession has two fragrances. One is like their aftershave, and one is their this bottle of EDT sprayable. So this one, my dad used to own it, and I used to find it so masculine. This one is not, nowadays people don't talk about it much. This is not the vintage, by the way. Vintage had this built-in sprayer, very long lasting. This one I get about 4 to 5 hours, but Obsession, something about this fragrance, it just draws people into you. Okay, one of the most classic fragrances ever. Okay, try it out before it gets rare to find. Okay, I need a backup bottle of this, actually. My big bottle running low. CK Obsession for Men, huge impact on me. Love this perfume. Next, I did not own this before. Let me tell you, my brother owned it, one of my big brothers, and I saw it in his shelf. I immediately loved, because I did love Dunhill Desire Red, and I saw he had this one, and I got so jealous. Like, this bottle looks so awesome. I love blue perfumes, blue fragrances, and it smells so fruity. It got the lychee note, it got the sweet notes. It's lighter than Dunhill Desire Red. I wanted to own it. Every time I used to go to his place, I used to spray 5-6 times, and he wouldn't mind because he had this big bottle, 150 ml. But I always wanted to own it. I bought it once, then I sold it in Bangladesh. I did not use it that much, 100 ml. Then I need one more bottle because I'm craving for it. Dunhill Desire Blue, again, kind of like reminds me my good old days of sniffing fragrances at places. Okay, back in the time, this was one of the big fragrances, Dunhill Desire Blue, and there are a lot of fakes of it. Do not buy a fake. Okay, always look for like genuine sellers. Okay, Dunhill Desire Red. Next fragrance, big fragrance for me. Okay, let me show you right away. This fragrance is nice, and even though this is not the most expensive, but it smells so strong, masculine, manly. It has the quality of designer perfumes. This is Activist by The Body Shop. Okay, I got this recently from Bangladesh. It comes with a small cap. Man, absolute. It got the pepper. I think I forgot all the notes, but it got the pepper, and it's kind of like a peppery lavender, perhaps. I forgot exactly, but masculine fragrance. It's long lasting too. We used to use it back in the time. I used to have Arbor, I used to have Kistina or something, the fresh ones, and I had another one I'm showing you after a while. But Body Shop has some good fragrance. This is their best fragrance, hands down. Okay, if you never tried Activist, go to Body Shop and give it a try. You might love it so much. It got some citruses as well, but it's a very masculine leather, dark peppery fragrance. Try it out. Activist is one of my first few bottles that I owned. I think it was back in the time 120 ringgit, so that's like $20, $25, $25. Okay, still not very expensive, $30. Okay, next one, another Body Shop fragrance. I will put them side by side. I always smelled it, and I never bought it because it disappeared very quickly. It's not the longest lasting, but now I got it because I like Musk. Okay, and you guys know I'm talking about White Musk by The Body Shop. They have a lot of other Musk right now, but one of my first few fragrances that I sniffed, White Musk. Okay, now I'm glad I have this. Give it a try. It's so good for casual usage at home, first thing in the morning. Very fresh, pure, kind of like gives you that clean feel. Okay, White Musk for Men, The Body Shop, one of my first few fragrances that I tried. Two more left, and then we'll done, I promise. Next one is a fragrance. Now it got a lot of hype after the reviewers rant about it, and now they're saying that this is getting discontinued. I know this fragrance before the hype, and that's what makes me happy. I liked it, always liked it as much as I found it similar to Lacoste Purum, but I liked it on its own, but it didn't feel like a masterpiece. I just liked it, casually. That was Mont Blanc Individual. I had always had a big bottle. I never liked their small bottles. The 50 ml looks very dwarfy, like ugly. Big bottle of 75 ml. I wished it was 100 ml, but it looks so cool. Back in the time, Mont Blanc got this thin bottle this gray juice. Fascinating. Our time, it got sweetness, it got this cold weather it really performs well. And then Creed sort of took the inspiration and made original santal from this. Obviously had to be a good fragrance. People are split. They sometimes like it, the raspberry note, the cooling metallic note. Some people don't like it. I liked it, but it was like more like a 7 out of 10 for me, but memorable fragrance in my journey nonetheless. Mont Blanc Individual. Last one I'm going to finish with this long video is this fragrance which is very special to me. I had 125 ml. I took it absolutely everywhere. I love this fragrance over any other fresh fragrance even till today. Okay, I love Bleu de Chanel, I love Sauvage. They're great, they're beast mode. But back in the time, this is my go-to guy when I want to smell like aquatic. This was my first aquatic fragrance. Okay, that was Polo Blue. This is now, you can find it, but not many people look into it. They got a lot of flankers, but they're not as good as this one in my humble opinion. I love the EDP. I have the EDP, but take a look at that atomizer. Very classy, like tall atomizer, the blue in there. Let me spray some. Yeah, I like to wear this a lot. Many people do not like it because it has this mature vibe to it, and some people say this fragrance is like what do you call bit mature. What do they mean by mature? They mean like this fragrance has some elements that are not their cup of tea. But sometimes, you know, what works for you doesn't work for everybody. Polo Blue is fragrance I highly recommend. High heat, this fragrance smells like melon. And I think I forgot what notes were there. Something like a mossy, people get moss. I don't get the oak moss, but really nice blue fragrance. And it's just like a staple in my collection. After this one gets finished, I'll buy a big bottle. Okay, so those are my 26 fragrances that started my journey. Just want to share some stories with you because I'm taking it easy now. I had a lot of fragrance in the last few days to review, and I was going through some, you know, like squeeze, tight squeeze. So I'm relaxing right now, and just try out this fragrance. If you like my channel, if you follow me, these are for some fragrance that started the game for me and many other people. Okay, nowadays new fragrances are great, but sometimes good to look back at some of the older fragrances, just to get an idea where how the fragrance trend changed. You know, there are things to study, right? Thanks for watching. Have a very nice day, and thanks to all of you who write to me personally in emails, like messages, and then you leave me a comment. Sometimes I cannot answer the comments, but thank you for showing me the love. You know, I can get in touch with people from all over the world through this media, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is the best part of my journey. Okay, money or no money, business or no business, monetization or no monetization, these things are not as big as this one. Love of fragrances unites us all. Stay strong, stay united, and keep smelling good. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for showing me all the love and peace. See ya. Bye bye.